Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of Camp's Chats on the Farm. So this week's topic stems from a Facebook post I put up for my status this past week, asking a question. Who do you think has the most influence over your child's development structure? That being a teacher, a coach, a parent, or a friend. And ultimately, by the way, thank you for everyone that did respond to that. What I saw a lot of was probably people's answer aligned with how they saw the importance of who had the biggest impact on them growing up. So maybe some of you had a great coach that really helped you guys develop along the way. And so when you thought about that question, you said, man, coaches definitely. And then somebody may have had an amazing teacher in their life. And ultimately, I think a lot of us, we ultimately are products of our environment. So our friends have the biggest influence on us. I do believe that's probably, if you were just going to isolate any one of those four, that may have the most impact depending on the friends you have. Now, here's a spoiler alert. Ultimately, it was a trick question. Because just like I explained, depending on the individual, and some of you picked up on this, so good for you. Depending on the individual, it will depend on who has the biggest influence. And so it's going to be different for every person. So all four of those areas, your friends, your coaches, your teachers, your parents, all of them actually are a 10. They are all a 10. We have to approach life that way. And so when you think about it just strictly off of someone else affecting someone else, you can isolate it. But here's what I'm going to give you. Every single one of us fit at least one of those categories. I'm pretty confident in saying that. Because either you have friends that you are close to growing up, and then even now as an adult. Everybody had teachers at some point. Most of us had coaches. Most of us have parents that are involved with us. Any one and all four of those have to be a 10. And if you fit those roles yourself, if you're a parent, if you are a coach, if you're a teacher, just being a friend to somebody, you need to understand that you actually do have a responsibility, because the influence that you're going to have over the person next to you could be tremendous. And just using coaching as an example, Coach Camp here, right? I know through the years I've coached many kids. And from time to time, some of those ex-players will contact me and they'll let me know what a great impact I had in their life and how much influence I had. Now I'm a teacher, obviously, and I have a lot of students do the same thing. Obviously, I'm a parent, and I even have some older kids now, 25 and 24, and they will share that with me at times. So what I really want to emphasize to you guys is this. Looking at it from a perspective that it is your responsibility, depending on what role you play, and it may be all four, always take that very seriously, because you just never know who it is that needs you the most. As a coach, I know that I take it very serious. I realize that, not every player is going to need the same type of nurturing as another player might need. But ultimately, you never know which player it is that they are clinging to everything you do and everything you say. You are the biggest part of their influence. As a teacher, you just never know what student really needs you today as a teacher. And as a parent, your kids always are going to need you. Friends, the same thing. So this week's message is simply this. It is kind of almost a recall. I want you to think about the question from last week, but then I want you to make it personal. And that's what I have to do. I always have to make these messages personal for it to matter. For me to have passion or care about it or to speak to it with authority, I know I have to make it personal. And that's what I've done with this. So as you go out, if you're a teacher, if you're a coach, if you're a parent, and you got friends, think about the fact that you're a 10. You're a 10 in somebody's life, and they're going to need you. Leaders never set out to be leaders. They set out to make a difference. Thank you guys for always tuning in, clicking like, please share. Hope this message helps some of you guys out there, and tune in next week. As always, be good to one another.